Got me through that man,
roll about the slap. Roll about the slap. Yeah. Once you feel it, can't take it back. Once you feel it, can't take it back. Can't take it back. That's when I show up like what's happening. What's happening? Yeah. You'll be happy to know I'm back again. I'm back again. Yeah, back again. And you know all my shit goes like that. Slap, slap. Yeah, slap, slap. Slap, slap. You know all my shit goes slap, slap. Slap, slap. Yeah, slap, slap. Yeah, slap, slap. Now allow me to dumb it down. Every time I come around, they tell me they love the style. They tell me they feel the sound. Traveling the underground, I'm feeling like Harry YouTube. And I had fans for a while, now they more like my cousins. I've been alibying for my team, they with me though. Everybody quiet on the scene, watching me go. Go ahead, be mad, I think that should be my CeeLo. I put on for the city, so this one is for my people. Yeah, I've been so wrong, I wish I could repent. Say a couple Hail Marys and just flip a fucking switch. Good luck with that. I'm back and forth like a tennis match. Cherish the time, cause I won't get that back. But every round I leave a piece of me. It's like I've chiseled at my soul so much lately, it's hard to even feel a thing. I like my colors textured, baby, like that sticky green. Fireball, cover my left eyeball and take a drink. What's happening? What's happening? Yeah. You'll be happy to know I'm back again. I'm back again. Yeah, back again. Nah. And you know all my shit go slap, slap. Slap, slap. Yeah, slap, slap. Slap, slap. You know all my shit go slap, slap. Slap, slap. Yeah, slap, slap. Yeah, slap, slap. Yeah. I was always good, but I'm gooder now. We gon' party like we back up in the hood of miles. Hit us like, what the fuss about? Until they see us tear, fuck 'em, build it down. Scream Kobe when I shoot my shot. They like, damn, you just can't be stopped. I mean, I've been here for a minute now. Feel like an hour and a half. Homies told me, brother, they done switched up. I should be petty and cut them out of pictures. Might seem nice, but I come from the land. One bad day, had your boy on the lam. Took a step back, got the clarity. Meanwhile, I'm just turning down charity. I try doing what I'm doing like a parody. But ain't nobody good as me, apparently. The fan got my back like a parachute. 151 run with the Malibu, cold as Ice Cube. Nigga with an attitude. Count the money for me, then just tell me where there's attitude. Anything in the past, get a pass. On my present shit will make Santa Claus laugh. West Coast gang, they don't recognize that. Full state looking like Westeros, mad. I ain't throwing shit. I was on my own, so unfortunate. Abandoned churches, preach at the pulpit. Last supper, we just feasted, we bullshit. Woosah, what I say to myself every day until I don't even feel shit. HHE be the fan where the crew is. Hoodlum exclusive. Never feel good to be a hoodlum. Every HHE event feel like a family reunion. Much love, last name we gon' never talk about this losing. Every day, put that on. Everything. Damn, it feel good to be a hoodlum. Every event is like a damn family reunion. Much love, last name we gon' never talk about this losing. Every day, put that on. Everything. Can a nigga feelin' like Panacho. You already know how that ends. Don't switch. Trust me, I'm feeling like shit. But it's funny how my nigga just switch. You don't wanna play them games with me. You already know how that ends. Trust me, I'm feeling like shit. But it's funny how my nigga just switch. You don't wanna play them games with me. Don't switch. You already know how that ends. Trust me. Anything anyone can do when I'm feeling like this. Like this. Don't switch. You look long enough to be the villain, and I know that's why I'm headed on the straight, and it's just making me sick. Making me sick. Don't switch. switch. I'd have been alone in a basement, pacing, wondering if anybody ever finna help. Switch. Ended up disgusted, feeling like rested. Man, fast, fuck it, I do it myself. You don't wanna play that game. You already know how that ends. Cause you know that anyone can get it, maybe that's why you been different. We were supposed to be friends. Fuck it, I'm out of town a lot, and they keep telling me that it'll sound a lot. My peers, they be on the ground a lot. The new tape, it'll probably get around a lot. I'm on a shock and all, and you already know how it gets. Mess around and say fuck you all, I mean a label back. I put the whole thing on my back. It gets hard to be humble, y'all, guess it's the hoodlum in me. I was going right now, got a good one in me. Stressed out, cause my brother in the hospital. I'm just down, they be telling me they love the style. I won't switch. A nigga dangerous, feeling like this. Money, weed, pussy, yeah, that's all I get. So fly, nigga, straight feeling like this. Don't switch. Trust me, I'm feeling like shit. But it's funny how my nigga just switch. You don't wanna play them games with me. You already know how that ends. Trust me, I'm feeling like shit. But it's funny how my nigga just switch. You don't wanna play them games with me. You already know how that ends. Everybody problems, shit, everybody problems. Seen that they are mine now, how I'm finna solve them. How I'm finna solve them. Yeah, I better find out, everybody problems. Shit, everybody problems. Seen that they are mine now, how I'm finna solve them. How I'm finna solve them. Yeah, I better find out, find out, find out. Find out, find out, find out, find out. Everything is mine now. Find out, find out, find out, find out. Everybody problems. Everybody problems. Seen that they are mine now, how I'm finna solve them. All of my problems handed to me. I should probably stop accepting them. Weed is always the answer to me. Roll another one like the other end. Pressure turns coal into diamonds. But what about everybody mining? Trust me, I'm trying to handle mining. Everybody always wanna chime in. Find out, 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 find out. Everything is found out. Everybody problems, shit, everybody problems. Seen that they are mine now, how I'm finna solve them. How I'm finna solve them. Yeah, I better find out, everybody problems. Shit, everybody problems. Seen that they are mine now, how I'm finna solve them. How I'm finna solve them. Yeah, I better find out, find out, find out. Find out, find out, find out, find out. Everything is mine now. Find out, find out, find out, find out. Everybody problems. Everybody problems. Seen that they are mine now, how I'm finna solve them. They just don't want the answers from me. I don't got them, I'm barely getting mine. I can find no peace, even when it's all peaceful. Why? Pressure turn coal into diamonds. But what about the blood on your hands when you find them? And that's pretty much everybody's problem. Find out, 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 find out. Everything is found out. Everybody problems, shit, everybody problems. Seen that they are mine now, how I'm finna solve them. How I'm finna solve them. Yeah, I better find out, everybody problems. Shit, everybody problems. Seen that they are mine now, how I'm finna solve them. How I'm finna solve them. Yeah, I better find out, find out, find out. Find out, find out, find out, find out. Everything is mine now. Find out, find out, find out. Everybody problems. Everybody problems. Seen that they are mine now, how I'm finna solve them. You better find out, find out, find out. rappers on some different shit. How can I explain? They listen to my records, they say I cannot complain. They treat me like whatever, act like I don't feel no pain. But there ain't nobody better, homie, I just play the game. They say super old, you so old, superficial. Spit that backpack rap with that bullshit, they can miss you. I'm taking shots at rappers with bazookas and the missiles. But cross another hoodlum, that be grounds for dismissal. They say that we so hype on some ADD, they probably looking for us on some APB. Don't forget I run that bread G-A-N-G. But with that being said, it's still H-A-G. It's too late, too hate, I'm too great. Touche, I've eaten up too many sweet rappers, I get toothaches. Now who you know is better than me? I'm all A pluses, they some struggling B's. I see too many cooks in the kitchen. Everybody cheats, but no Indians is with them. Imitate my style and don't even do it different. I love every fan except a fake ass nigga. You a fan, you a fan, you a fake ass nigga. You a fan, you a fan, you a fake ass nigga. You a fan, you a fan, you a fake ass nigga. You a fan, I love every fan except a fake ass nigga. You a fan, 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 fake ass nigga. You a fan, 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 fake ass nigga. You a fan, 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 fake ass nigga. You a fan, I love every fan except a fake ass nigga. I've been trying to figure you out, girl. Wanna know what you about. It seems like every time I touch down, I'm trying to take it to the house. I just love the way you bounce, girl. Don't bounce to the house. I just love the way you do your thing. Trying to take it to the house. Backside out. Bounce, yeah, tag me down, work it out, make it count, yeah, get your bread, word of mouth, baby, wildin' out, I'm the cannon now, make it bounce like a gamble house, and pick up the certain strings, get the chains, get the nails, and then makeup, she ain't goofy about the game, no, she all about the paper, should I take her, should I save her, should I cape her, should I cape up, none of that my nature. Me, I feel like Tretch, I'm on some naughty shit like other people's property and sex. I'm with my dogs, DMX, and everybody fresh. They be like, oh, what a catch. And see, I'm unimpressed by all them hearts on your IG, but let's pause, take a pic, bounce like a pogo, let it out. That's how Rono with no doubt. That's a pro, now make it bounce like a 6'4", like we in LA, 94. Hit a switch, though, pick it up, drop it back down. Devil pitch for you out, girl. Wanna know what you about. It seems like every time I touch down, I'm trying to take it to the house. I just love the way you bounce, girl. Don't bounce to the house. I just love the way you do your thing.
Back like I never fucking left. It's the Beard, bitch. Tonight, we're going to talk about Kottonmouth Kings, Kingdom Come. They released the track list, and the shit's a little confusing to me. We got new Ouija video dropping tomorrow. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about how the masterminds behind that tie to both Ouija and Magic Ninja Entertainment. We're going to talk about Kendrick Lamar getting that Pulitzer Prize and what that means going forward for hip-hop music and music in general at the Pulitzers. And hopefully Mad Max, hopefully his Skype status goes from this yellow away icon to a green online icon, because he's going to come on and he's going to talk some shit with me. My name's Chuck Reeves. I'm the East Coast Beast host, and the Beard speaks now.
Oh, come on, he's a miserable cocksucker fucking asshole. You hate him, admit it.
You know what it is, and you know what it does. It is Wednesday. It is the 18th of motherfucking April, 2018. My name is Chuck Reeves. I am the East Coast Beast host. Salute and flame emojis to all you heads out there in internet land. Tune the fuck in. This, of course, is the Beard Speaks. I ain't been here. The show's being retooled. We talked about this. As the show gets retooled and I work on my situational to get the best content out there for you guys, and especially the best content once we get back in full capacity over on that main YouTube channel. I'm taking some time. And I'm having to take other time to do other stuff. So sometimes my time cannot be devoted to this. And I appreciate your motherfucking patience and your consideration. A Tales from the Lotus podcast, that was the worst interview subject of all time. How you going to interview Trey Flows? That dude Trey Flows was on the Tales from the Lotus podcast tonight, and he literally said that Myzery is the Spanish Tupac. And my response to that is the only thing Tupac and Myzery have in common is that they both faked their own fucking death. Fuck Spanish Side. Fuck anybody that supports Spanish Side. Fuck Myzery. Fuck Fuego Flames. Fuck Trey Flows. Fuck the Incarnations. Fuck them all. Fuck them in the ear. Fuck them in the other ear. It's Chuck Reeves in this motherfucker. Somebody tell Mad Max to get on the motherfucking Skype machine. We got some stuff to talk about. As usual, I want to give a special shout out to my sponsors. First and foremost, and probably most important, Beard Love. All right, make sure you're sliding over to mybeardlove.com/beasthost. You're going to get 10% off any and all purchases, whether that be the oils, the washes, the balms. We're getting ready to roll out that Chuck Juice scent that's going to be available tonight. I'm just rocking some fragrance free. I wasn't going no place. My girl's not feeling very good. She got a sour tummy. And I don't want my smell to overwhelm her and potentially make her sicker. So I'm copping some of that fragrance free. It just smells like neutral beard right now. As you can see, my shit's mad overgrown. Let's talk about this for a minute. Look at my overgrown ass face. Like all this, it's all up in here. I'm like the dog face boy. My mustache, which has become a serious liability. Anybody who was tuned in to the motherfucking For Our Consideration live broadcast saw me light my mustache on fire. Like, just, it happened. Nobody else saw it. I saw it. I don't even think Justin saw it, but I know the viewers at home, if you were paying attention, you saw this whole side of my mustache in a big ball of flame. So it's a little uneven, but it's still all overgrown, and I need to get that shit trimmed up, obviously, before this weekend. Other than Beard Love, of course, you know me. I got them hater shirts on deck. All right. We got those pins. Those are on deck. I know some people are waiting for packages. Those are being shipped this week. All right. And go over there. Get them fucking Underground Tarot cards from twistedshop.com. You know you want them joints. As usual, super chats are not accepted here until we get back on our home channel. But paypal.me/beasthostbeard. Any and all merch, fucking donational. If you interested in me running an ad or perhaps debuting your music video here on my channel or on my show, hit me up. We got all sorts of that shit, you know, out there and available. Let me see what we got in the chat already. Let's see. I don't know where Mad Max is at. I told Mad Max that we was going to do this. Let me see if I can give him a call. See, it's just going to say away. It's just going to be like, nah, fam. Watch, it's gonna be like, nah, fam, he ain't here. Max ain't here, man. Oh, maybe. We're gonna try him back later. That was me just letting him know. Oh, there we go. Look at that. We getting an incoming call from Maximilian. Let's go straight to him. Let's go straight. Oh, I missed the call. But see, now he's online. So let's call him back and get him on the Jones. Nope, it's telling me call ended. Why are you being a punk motherfucker? Motherfucker. Why are you doing that, fam? We're going to try to let him call back. Perhaps. Or perhaps I should try. I'm going to try to call him back since he's online. Doing the Skype dance. Do I got him? Nope, we got call ended. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, Mr. Maximilian can get back to us. It would be awesome if he would do that. Let me see. What do I got to talk about? Oh, yeah. This week in shows. Mad shows. There's like 3 420 shows going down right here. All right, Roach Records 12th Annual 420. That's at Max Bar. That shit's in Lansing, Michigan. That shit's on Friday. Smokehouse Junkies. Knowledge DMC. That dude Knuckles there. All right. The 420 Juggalo Smokeout with ABK, Boondocks, Prozac, the ROC, Insane E, and Bakelow. That's this Friday. That's at Fort Wayne, Indiana. For you Midwestern heads out there, go peeps that, get your smoke on. The 10th Annual Still in Rotation with Zitro, Puppet Master, Playboy P, Allen Park, Michigan. And look, we got our phone call that we were waiting on. Hold on one second. Can you hear me?
I can barely hear you. Breaking up.
How about now?
Now I can hear you.
All right, word. All right, let's see what's cracking. Let me make sure I can. I don't see you.
No, hold up.
I don't see you. Oh, wait a minute. We getting some movement? Nope.
I just pressed a button. See my Xbox avatar. God, why does Skype always got to make shit difficult?
Let me call you back.
All
All right. We're going to try this again. But 420 shows, definitely this weekend. You should take advantage, especially if you're in like a legal state. I want to call him. There we go. That's what I was waiting for. Long time no see, fella. How's it going?
Yeah. It's I'm staying alive, man. Doing the damn thing. I got no, not yet. No, it's not the angle was no good. Joe is here with his homie.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, getting set up for Friday.
That's good. So wait, you have that going down at your crib Friday, which I guess we can talk about in a second.
And then I'm going to leave from there and go to Worcester.
Oh, see, that's what I was wondering. All right, you're going to be half in the bag, fam. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. Oh, no, I'm going to be done for. I'm going to have to, I don't know. So hopefully someone's going to have some blow because I'm going to need to fucking wake up.
I got to be at the show at like 7. So like, I'm just going to do my thing and then slide up there and try to maintain until the end of the fucking show.
Sounds about right.
But yo, man, fucking, I ain't been on in a hot damn minute. And I do have some shit I want to talk to the heads about. And if I gotta switch off to show a graphic, you're gonna have to give me a second to add your audio. And then we can talk about whatever it is, and I'll just have it up on the screen with your audio. So first things first, something that popped up today.
Yeah, if you're gonna need anything, just fucking, give me a call, hit me up, let me know what's going on, man. Cool, man. All right, go ahead, Chuck.
Let me see. Let me call it up here because I know I saved it. All right.
Keep talking. I'll be right back.
So the Kottonmouth Kings released the fucking track listing for this latest record they've got coming out called Kingdom Come.
Imagine.
I mean, you've known this is on its way out. I'm sure you've heard about it.
I've heard about it. I mean, I've been disenfranchised with the Kings since before the last time I saw them play. They played fucking when Dirtball was a part of it, like right as he became.
I remember. I was there, remember?
I saw them do that show, and I was like, they ain't Kottonmouth Kings anymore. They're just some fucking rap group.
and that's what I want to get to right now because obviously, you got your standard track list, but the first thing that stuck out to me, in regards to this track listing, was the fact that track number 4, which is called Click, K.L.I.C.K. is featuring someone that I thought was part of Kottonmouth Kings, Johnny Richter. It literally says featuring Johnny Richter.
Well, that's strange.
So, I mean, I don't know.
Look, let's be real about this. They kicked Pakelika out of the band.
Yep.
Not that long before he fucking died. And as far as I'm concerned,
Richter stayed with Subnoise when the whole thing happened with Kottonmouth, between Kottonmouth and Subnoise, which is interesting because this record is being released wholly independently under Kingmaker Music, which I have to figure is like an under company to Kingmaker Cannabis, which is D-Loke's cannabis company out there in Las Vegas.
The people that fucking that put Twisted on.
Exactly. So you've got basically a King's record featuring someone who used to be a king. Now, if he's in a position where you have to still list him as being featured in the group, then he's not being embraced by the group enough to even be on the record, in my fucking opinion.
Don't you remember don't you remember he made the album Freaking Out, Free King? Like, bro, the fact of the matter is, let's be real here. You obviously, I'm sure you remember this, but a lot of people don't. During the, it was either right before, it was right before the Wizard Gathering or right after or something like that. But basically, Violent J tweeted or, did like a Weekly Freaky type deal. And what he basically said was, y'all are fucking crazy if you think ICP and Twisted will ever not be down. All right? Violent J very, very plainly said, you're out of your fucking mind if you think Twisted and ICP will ever beef. That's our fucking family right there. And look what the fuck happened.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously.
So the fact of the matter is, all this for life shit it means nothing to no one. Johnny Richter, they put him on, if anything, because they probably figured that the fans wanted to, and they also figured
this very easily could have been a King Spade record because you've got one.
King Spade is still making a record. Didn't you hear about that? They're doing that shit.
No, you have a King's EP right. I mean, a fucking King Spade EP right here because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tracks featuring Johnny Richter out of 16. So you have nearly half. You know what I'm saying? That's your King Spade EP right there.
Yeah, then you want to know what, though? It is a bit fucking conspicuous and odd that they would say featuring such and such, but then feature him on so many tracks. Like, that's what I mean. Okay. So it's very backwards because you obviously embrace him enough to the point where you'll have him on that many tracks on your album, but at the same time,
you won't embrace him as being a member of the group.
The only thing that I can literally,
you know what that sounds to me? That sounds to me that D-Loke didn't want to pay him whatever it's going to be, 1/3 of the record. He wanted to pay him $300 a feature.
I mean, that's definitely possible. I think that it could also be depending on who, because here's the thing. If Johnny Richter technically is still part of Subnoise, then you know that realistically speaking, that means that if he's going to get featured on the album, then legally...
Subnoise is kind of a dead issue. Subnoise kind of
No, here's the thing. Think about it like this, though. Depending on who owns Subnoise at this point, depending on who's still running it...
Kevin Zinger runs Subnoise. Subnoise.
Dude, if that's the case, bro, listen. If Kevin Zinger still runs fucking Subnoise, do you really think Kevin Zinger's not fucking bitter?
No, but do you know who he's running right now? Kevin Zinger and Subnoise is Slane's label, La Coca Nostra's label, and is the over umbrella label to Bax War. Now, Bax War took a shit, so you can't really count on that. But La Coca must be a moneymaker to some point, even overseas.
Number one, my question is they have Slane. Are they managing Slane's acting career? Because that's what he's more invested in.
No, and I bet you.
Second of all, La Coca Nostra, listen, let me make something very clear. I love La Coca Nostra more than certain members of my family.
That's cool.
However, with that being said, let's be really real here. La Coca Nostra pops in Europe. It pops in South America. Don't pop out here.
Yeah, you're right.
I love La Coca Nostra, but the reality is that nobody's down with that shit no more. Nobody cares about cocaine rap. I was just thinking about this, bro. You know why cocaine is so expensive now, right? Because nobody wants to fucking buy it.
Yeah, the demand went down. Supply is it's hard to get because nobody wants to deal with it.
Good shit is impossible to find because nobody wants to fuck with it.
So we got that. Some other interesting features on here. Sendog from Cypress Hill, which I'm pretty sure D-Loc was Sendog's original weed man, so that's probably how he fucking got started. Track number 13, called Crown Town, featuring Twisted. Now, with that title, an obvious
wow, okay, that took me a second.
An obvious play on Clown Town.
That took me a second. Oh shit! Look, here's the thing. I'm gonna be completely honest here on this one. Number one, that's fucking hilarious.
Isn't that funny? I saw that and I was like, oh, come on.
Like, but at the same time, unfortunately, this is the whole thing. I got to tell you, if I was Twisted, I would probably want to take some shots back to at this point. So I get it, but this is my point. What I put it to you like this. There is a Kottonmouth Kings album that exists that has a song called Wicked Clowns. You want to know what that means? That means that Kottonmouth Kings almost literally, for the rest of their career, have Insane Clown Posse's dick in their mouth.
Oh, all right. So, but
hold on.
This is a good segue because I want your opinion on this. So, what you have here in the current state of things is you have Twisted from Detroit, currently independent from ICP, but tied to ICP. You have Tech 9. You have Tech 9. Kansas City, also independent, but also tied to ICP. You have KMK, independent, but tied to ICP. Now, in my mind, and perhaps you can correct me, I know the 17%ers are going to jump in my shit for even making this statement.
Okay. This should be good.
In the old days, when you say had a Happy Days tour, there were certain places where the crowds that came out were more there for KMK or Tech than they were for the clowns. And in some markets, they were there more for the clowns than the other two.
Oh, it was like when ICP toured with Onyx and fucking they had ICP open in fucking Detroit, but not anywhere else. Like, all right, here's the thing.
Hold on, and something just came up in the chat, and I want to clear it up. We're lockside until you fucking learn to read the English language. Magic Ninja Entertainment is independent. Their distribution is run through a company that falls under Universal Music Group. Yup. It doesn't mean that they have Universal Music Group backing. You stupid motherfucker.
That's the stupidest shit ever. Because, quite frankly, distribution, number one, a lot of these motherfuckers are too young to even remember long-range distribution and how hard rappers used to have to get their shit out.
Change their fucking names every 2 feet. Or every 2 years. Fontana became something else. Fucking Undies. You remember Undies that used to fucking distribute Junior Mafia? Like, Junior Mafia was independent, but they would say Undies on their records because that was their distribution company.
Well, the reality is that at this point, think of it like this, man. The reason why Twisted is going through whoever Universal this and that is not because they did any kind of fucking they're getting any kind of major. You know what it comes down to? If anything, I can't verify this, but chances are they're in either paying or they are giving some manner of percentage for that kind of distribution only because at the level that they are with the number of units that they move, it's advantageous to have that kind of distribution.
Yeah, mainly not everything's going to be a Twisted Shop exclusive.
Think of it like
stuff is Twisted Shop exclusives, but not everything can be a Twisted Shop exclusive.
No, you're absolutely right. And the other thing is, you know what? I got to tell you, this is the shit that's stupid to me. Number one, doing online digital distribution, first of all, anybody can do it personally, but when you are at the levels that are that high, like if you go and read the terms and conditions, they have certain stipulations when you move more than a certain amount of units. So if that's how it's going to be, you may as well shop yourself to people that, to the companies that are going to be able to put you in a store. Because you know what? I don't care how many, like, selling independent. Yeah, Tech Nine is going, is selling, his CDs independent through Best Buy. But what? You mean to tell me that they don't have some kind of a similar situation set up? Like, to think that it would be any kind of selling out to make sure that your album was in more stores without compromising the material, I don't see what the problem is. And I mean, quite frankly, Twisted was like, they talked about wicked shit, but it's not as though they ever said shit that was so fucking objectionable that, like, oh man, we got to back off from that. It's just, it's all stupid shit. I mean, the thing with KMK, I think that it's possible that Kevin Zinger is bitter, and that's why he won't allow him to be folded in. Because who knows? Maybe he doesn't want his artist picking up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want his artist fucking getting folded into something where he feels like either A, his boss isn't going to get his proper cut, which again, bitter and vindictive, but who fucking knows? The way that the whole situation was handled, I mean, look, I got to tell you, Kottonmouth Kings was practically my preamble to my real juggaloism. Because when I was a kid,
for a lot of people it is. For a lot of people,
the idea of smoking weed when I was like 11, 12 years old as a kid in New Jersey was an insane prospect. And these guys were doing it in the fucking open. So holy shit. But the fact is that as time went by, the point that I wanted to make earlier, just so I don't forget it, and it kind of ties into this, is that Crown Town, you realize that Kottonmouth Kings at this stage of the game could never make that claim without Twisted. They could never make that song.
No, and that's the point I'm trying to make, is that could we be seeing those people that helped the clowns, that the clowns never really fully put on?
Hold on. You say never really fully put on, but what I say is that Psychopathic, first of all, if you remember that ICP, Jay mentioned KMK a good few times in Behind the Paint, but the thing is that KMK, when they first started out, honestly, to the best of my recollection, they were a mainstay at the Gathering, first of all, and they were also a very common touring partner. Not to mention, a lot of people forgot about the Stone in the Cemetery tour, the reason why You Wanna Hoe and Hollywood I'm Coming got made. Because they were supposed to tour together, and then there was a bunch of bullshit why it didn't end up working out, and so they started dissing each other. But to me, I think it's funny that things would have come full circle to a point where Twisted was dissing KMK on fucking Psychopathics from Outer Space 2, and then now would potentially be, I mean, we're going to have to hear the song to really themselves. We're going to have to hear the song to really know.
My thing is, I can't see this record sounding any different than anything we already know, because they're not going to be trying to redo. They're basically just trying to see if lightning can strike again and to see if enough time has aired out their stale gimmick of weed rap.
Well, now you want to know? Oh no, but here's the problem. It's unfortunately
but that's maybe what it needed, was just time to air out.
You know what? Well, I mean, some would say that, if the smoke in the air and a hot box gets stale, you got to open the windows occasionally. But what I have to say is that this, to me, is the problem, is that KMK, I'm sorry, for me personally, all of that shit died with Pocket Leaka. That's me. That's how I feel. And
in my opinion, it died when Daddy X got stabbed in his neck, which is why I'm glad to see him not on this record anywhere. I'm not a KMK hater. Anybody in the hold on.
Who the fuck stabbed Daddy X in the neck? This is news to me.
One of Pac's people did. This happened a long time ago.
Oh wow.
One of Pac's people caught him at a show and stuck him in the neck.
And wow.
Yeah. Like this so he ain't around. But so I mean, KMK is KMK. We're gonna see what happens. I'd like to see a King Spade record, because I don't think we ever fully got a King Spade record.
What? My thing is, what I meant to say when I say all that shit died with Pocket Leaka, because I remember when, and I mean, you want to know what? Frankly, one of Pac's people, if Pac told somebody to go stab Daddy X in the neck, it makes a little bit more sense as to why he may have ended up getting kicked out of the group and different shit like that. But here's the thing, is that the way that I remember it, because again, this is all new information to me, what you're saying, but the way that I remember it was that shortly after Pocket Leaka's death, like Richter and maybe somebody else, they tried to do a benefit, and nobody from the Kings fucking went.
Wait,
like
who is saying that I'm making a false? What false claim am I making? Warlock side. Hey, Tales from the Lotus podcast, get your fucking lackey under control with his fucking crazy retarded autism. Because if he's claiming that my claim that Daddy X got stabbed in the throat, we're gonna hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the fucking Fagel Lovers article for you.
Oh, the Juggalo world has been a crazy one.
Here we go. Kottonmouth Kings lead singer Daddy X stabbed, courtesy of fucking. And look, there's a picture of him in the hospital. Is recovering today after being stabbed in the neck. This was in 2011. Hold on, I'm bringing it up over your face.
I remember this now.
There you go. Kottonmouth Kings lead singer stabbed. There's a picture of it. He looks like that dude. There's a dude who's not Rucker Howard, who I always confuse for Rucker Howard, and he fucking looks exactly like him.
Ian McShane, maybe.
Maybe. He was the cult leader in a movie called Bad Dreams.
I'm not familiar.
You haven't seen that? It's a pretty decent horror movie. All right. So, second piece of news I kind of wanted to talk to you about because we're both kind of fans of his in one way or another. Ouija Mac, the latest signee to the motherfucking crew over there at Psychopathic, is dropping a vid for his song Ghost tomorrow off that new Gutter Water EP that's dropping, I think, May 5th or something, right?
Okay.
I don't know. May something.
I've heard about it. I've seen the artwork.
So, what's interesting about this to me, and what I want to talk to you about, is that the eyes behind this visual extravaganza we're going to get tomorrow, which it kind of excites me.
Yeah, Rotten Cake.
Jason Schultz and Rotten Cake, who the heads out there may or may not know from his work with Swagtooth, his work with Danny Brown, his work with MotherFuckin Twisted. And Jason Schultz being the guy
which video of Twisted did he do?
I can't remember. No Breaks.
Okay. Oh, wow. That was a good one, too.
He did the No Breaks video, and then he did the book. He did that picture book that came out. That, like, coffee table book they're selling. Twisted Behind the Nightmare or something. It's been available on tour. It's a big-ass coffee table book. Now, knowing the work he was doing for Swagtooth, like, obviously, he did the Moon Boots video. He did...
That was a good one.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He did Gossip. You know what I'm saying? So we know.
Oh yeah, that was the one. The homie Les Legs was in that video. That shit was dope.
So we know what he can do on a very limited budget, and I'm sure Swagtooth had him on a fucking shoestring because they weren't big balling ass dudes. I mean, they had some success, but they weren't balling.
Well, look,
I'm excited to see what he does for Ouija, given the Psychopathic Records budget, given the fact that I know they spent 10 grand on that White Lights Blase Rose video.
All right, so look, something that a lot of people don't know about videography, especially rap videography, is that there was an experience I had. I wish I could remember exactly which video it was, but within the last, let's say, 5 years, Q Strange put out a video. Part of it was him in a junkyard, I think. And
was it the Scumbag Superstar one, or was it?
More than likely. More than likely that's what it was. Well, but this is my point, though, is the parts that were in the junkyard that were just kind of junk cutted around with him and D-Rock, like just, you know, like that was the more appealing part of the video than the shot that was like lit and choreographed that they shot at the bar. It was either Tammany Hall or the one next door. But that, like, this is the point, that if with the right eyes, a proper camera, and skill with editing, which obviously these dudes have, you can make a video for literally nothing. You want to know who can prove that to you? Rose Glenn, Nobi, fucking, I know there's a few others, but like these dudes who literally like, low key, like these dudes literally, they went and they got their cameras, they found the programs on the computers, they went and fucked with them and learned how to use them, and like, literally, let me tell you something. The video, like the signal, let's take it, like, you saw the signal, the video for mine, the Mission Effect one. Mm-hmm. So we can agree that that's a professional looking video, right?
Yeah.
There was literally zero preparation. I'm pretty sure the only thing that I said was, I'm bringing my sword, and there's going to be people there, right? I want to like have them behind me. Low key had the ingenious idea to bring masks and like off-color greenish masks. Like he did wonders with that in the color balancing in post-production. But like, this is my point. Post-production is a skill-based fucking commodity. And if you have built the skill through personal experience, it's worth the amount of money. The $10,000, if they spent $10,000, I haven't seen that video, but chances are if they actually spent $10,000 on it, of the money that they spent was probably on location, camera rentals if they didn't have their own, and maybe, depending on who the director was, their fee. Because when you think about it, the whole
no. I mean, I've been around enough music videos to know what the deal is. So
no, you do.
I'm not gonna put nobody's business out there, so I won't name names, but it's pretty much industry standard. When you have someone who's a freelance videographer in the way Rotten Cake is, and he's been working long term, mostly probably at a discount.
Chemistry. It's going to work. I think it's going to be dope work, whatever it is, mainly because
I know it's going to be dope work because I've seen them work in person.
They've worked together before. Exactly.
I saw Swagtooth interact with Jason Schultz at Webster Hall in New York prior to one of the Twisted shows I went to down there. And he could have said anything to those guys, and they would have did it. I mean, that's the way he got a lot of the shots that he got. And their visual style and the shit that they had come out visually was very unique and
super on point,
instrumental to their success. So just the fact that I know, like if Jason Schultz told him, hey, climb in that sewer tank, and I know he did it. Like, you know what I mean? Like if he said, yo, hang yourself by your testicles, it's going to be a good shot. He would have did it. He would have did it just because he trusts that dude. I figure I'm going to watch it tomorrow on the show and do a live reaction. What else? What else? Oh, Kendrick Lamar won a Pulitzer Prize for his record.
Yeah, I heard about that. I haven't heard the album. I mean, look, at this point, this is kind of
you're not Black Panther.
Oh, so is that the album hasn't been released yet?
No. It has, but what I mean is essentially what Kendrick put out was the album Damn was Martin Luther King's mixtape. If you understand what I mean by that, it was in terms of a powerful piece of spoken word stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like just because it was set over beats, the majority of that was like a spoken word Martin Luther King on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial speech, type record.
Okay. No, I feel you. All right.
I didn't know that the Pulitzer Prize was for anything but the written word. I assumed that maybe they took his record and transcribed it into like a book form, and that's what won the award, but I guess it was for the CD. There were other nominees. Now, I'm trying to find out what the nomination process for a fucking Pulitzer Prize is, because I'm pretty sure I could put a couple episodes of this show into the running for best criticism.
You did.
But all the rest of the shit that was like nominated against Kendrick, and I guess what is typically nominated for the Pulitzer Prize Music Award was, and I'm going to quote the homeboy Desus from Desus and Mero on this one. I'm sorry, Mero said it. The boy Mero said it. He said, this is the type of music that Hannibal Lecter would cut open your scrotum to. And you know exactly the type of music I'm talking about. Classical, scary almost. Like the type of shit fucking Dexter would play in his fucking garage. Like you feel me? Like serial killer classical music.
Who would have seen that coming?
So my thing is that now that people know that, number one, they have a music category, and number two, that rap
every
win.
shitty political rapper is gonna fucking submit their, expose the Illuminati album to the fucking Pulitzer Prize now.
It might be a mess over there, But I like
might be when rap gets its hands on it. No, it's gonna be.
I don't know if you remember this. I mean, I think you were around in Worcester then. I wish I could remember which tour it was exactly, but I think it was the first tech show that I ever was involved in as an opener or anything like that. I was still with the Dope Men.
Right, okay.
I met Kendrick. He was still J-Rock's hype man, and he was still 19, and he still wasn't Kendrick. He was K-Dot. But K-Dot was J-Rock's hype man for 5 years or something. Wow. The whole time J-Rock was on Strange, Kendrick was traveling with Tech. So, like, you know, now we know Kendrick and Tech with the Fragile song and all that shit. But all the way that came into being was that Tech 9 and Strange has serious ties to TDE, Top Dog, J-Rock, and those guys. And I know for a while Kendrick's boss, J-Rock, at TDE had a dual deal where he was a Strange music artist, but he was also still vice president of Top Dog Entertainment with Top Dog and Kendrick and you know, their stable of artists out there on the West Coast.
Right.
But that's pretty dope. And I can see Tech trying to submit his shit because he's that sort of dude.
Yeah. You want to know what, though? I'll tell you right now, if he was to do it, he'd win. Who the fuck is going to outfight? Who's going to...
Depending on what the song's about. That tour just kicked off. Big shouts out to Adam, Carl, fucking Fatty, Steven, the whole crew on the road with them fucking dudes. We'll see you guys June 1st, I think, for the first time. And then Lancaster, PA.
June 6th, you'll be coming with me to Lancaster.
Yeah, I talked to your boy A-Game, too. I was like, I might be rolling down for that as well.
No, A-Game, actually, for that show, I think he is going to we're going to do a song that we've done together. Because he's a good dude. He's been, you know, like down with promoting the crew. He's working with some Wu-Tang affiliates now. So, you know, dude is doing it for real. And, I mean, for what it's worth, dude can spit. And that actually means something to me. So,
and like I told you, he's down with my homeboy Judah Priest. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, you know how I am when I love when them circles get completed, when the Juggalo circle to the hip-hop circle gets completed. Yeah. You know I love that shit.
Every once in a while, you know what I mean? Every so often.
Let's see what's going on. What else? Myzery announced that he's releasing an album under the name Twin Gats called The Last Rider. Now, besides being the absolute worst Spanish rapper
I'm going to go fucking hang myself in the shed.
What caliber bullet should he fucking use to fix our problem?
Frankly, I mean, if we want to be really honest, based only upon this, because I got to tell you, I loved Para La Isla. I bought that shit with what amounted to my own money at the time.
What, Isla?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No. I've been very clear about this. Stimulated Dome is the song that got me into this whole thing. Straight up.
Like, and see, that's the whole fucking problem, is that at this point now, like, look, because I can't even necessarily say lyrically, like, I'd have to, oh shit, 8 Legs is watching the show. He's got to fucking text me to take my hat. I should fucking do the rest of it just like this.
Yo, shouts to 8 Legs. If you haven't, did you check out that track, Hugh Morris, that I showed up on randomly?
Was the WWE one, right?
Yeah, with the super famous Fun Time guys with 8 Legs.
I have to hear the finished version of it, because I was on the earlier version of it, but I wasn't able to get my the original vocals. I didn't get sent over, and then Bob's computer shit the bed.
That track underwent several edits, even between the time I got it the first time and the time when I got the finished. I didn't even get a finished version until the end. I got a version that was like, look, you gotta keep in mind that's not going to be in that. And I was like, okay. But I'm going to be showing up on more and more shit.
So I digress. I don't listen to enough of Myzery's shit to really
isn't enough of Myzery's shit. See, here's my thing.
Fair enough. But this is what I'm saying, is that all things considered, why, if you are going to try to continue to be an artist after having several of the missteps that you've had, would you try, when trying to do this again, under that name when you're not really associated?
And the title of the album with itself is a gimmick. Now, what is he saying?
Well, why would you try to go towards that? Like, Myzery, frankly, he obviously doesn't realize that in 2018, literally, unless you already are really doing a great job, then it makes just as much sense to fucking like start over, go for a new fan base. I'm not saying like
that music is not Juggalo music. Anybody who's Juggalo related, who's on that music dick, is only on that dick because Joe Bruce tells them to do so.
Which at that point, it's such a weird thing. Like if he would co-sign that shit, but yet won't let him be part of the label. You know what I mean?
Now my shit is, anybody who's saying that it's going to be fire is just on that Joe Bruce dick. It needs to lay the fuck off. Now, my saying it's going to suck is based on just as little, though.
What?
My saying it's going to suck is based on just as little. But what I'm basing my it's going to suck on is the fact that this dude's been fucking touring the same 6 tracks for 21 years. And how many times has he announced a project only to never release the motherfucker? So maybe it won't suck. Maybe us saying it's going to suck is the wrong opinion. Maybe the right opinion is it's not even going to drop. Because first of all, I think Twin Gats is the sole intellectual property of one Joseph Bruce.
Maybe not. They did that shit on fucking Joe and Joey records specifically to be able to bail on it. So there might be weird legal shit. But who knows if fucking he's getting any kind of cosign still, because everybody forgets there is a certain amount of blood family behind that.
Well, he just played Juggalo Day. I assume we're going to see him at the gathering of the fucking Juggalos. I don't know if he's involved in DCG Con festivities.
I mean, look, man, the thing is that, like, who would want it to be bad is just, to me, like, again, why would you double down on that gimmick when, I mean, I don't know his numbers. Does he really have the support like that? Do people really?
Man, like, the dude that was on the Tales from the fucking Lotus podcast tonight, Trey Flows, has a whopping 400 Facebook likes. Like, get out of here, fam. You're repping. He literally said, I can't believe he said that shit. Myzery is the Spanish Tupac. As in he ain't put out music in, like, as in he ain't put out music in 21 years.
First of all, I don't mean to so I don't mean to split hairs here, but if we really, really want to take it there, the fucking Spanish Tupac would probably be, I mean, so was Stacked Bundles Latin, but fucking South Park Mexican. Like, are you kidding me? Is there, like, not to mention, there's a dozen other actual dope Latin rappers, like fucking, like West Coast legends, like fucking
Trey Loads.
Like, I would call fucking Sick Jackin' the Spanish Tupac before I called Myzery, especially just so we can be clear. Fucking, he's Puerto Rican. That's not exactly the same thing. If you want to say Latin, point. You know, if you want to say Latin,
that is a good point. I forgot about that.
Like, para la isla, for the island. Like, come the fuck on, man. Like, it's all there. And I mean, here's the other thing. I'm from New York, New Jersey, so that was like my area. It's not like I ever knew the dude.
They don't get no love down there. That's like, even the thought that they rep New York is stupid.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Anything that anybody from New York that's from there can tell you is that people that are from New York, especially people that stay in New York for most of their lives, regardless of their situation, are always going to act like they're better than you, no matter what. Like, I wasn't there for long enough, and my father, it took him many years to stop acting that way. My mother was from Long Island, so it was a different monster. But my father, it took him many years to stop being an arrogant prick. It took him switching from Judaism to Buddhism, stopping drinking for the most part. I'm pretty sure he stopped doing coke too. Like people from New York, for whatever reason, because of the dynamic and the nature of that city, if you succeed, especially if you succeed there at all, you just got this air of fuck you, I'm better than, like, haven't you seen that video where, like, and it's hilarious to see, where this dude is at a truck stop and he's talking that fucking, I'm from New York, dog. You heard me, I'm from New York.
Stomped out, yeah.
He gets fucking
He
slept.
up at the stars. He doing that number?
Slept. So, and here's the thing, because the reality is that it's not like, oh, New York is just full of like a bunch of brash dudes. It just comes to, or you know, like brash but weak. It comes down to that dude got caught fucking slipping, but it's because every dude from New York has that, like, I'm the shit no matter what. Like, let me tell you a little story. I can remember when I went to Hatchet Rising, this was in like 2001 or 2002. I saw Dark Lotus on stage, and Violent J threw his fucking Lotus mask with no paint on, which at the time was unprecedented and insane. Fucking, I caught a little strand of it. But fucking supposedly the people that I was hanging out with and some people that I met also that night were saying that Myzery showed up with a gun. Like he showed up walking around. I didn't see it, but lots of fucking people were talking about it. That Myzery showed up with a gun. Because this was after I'll Leave You Missing like twin cats. So, you know what I'm saying? Fucking, like, I don't know, man. It's a crazy thing. I want it to be good. I hope it is. But based on my knowledge of what's been going on, I don't have a lot leading me towards it's going to be good. Because, I mean, rap is kind of a perishable skill if you don't keep it up. And can anybody tell me what his last track was?
Mm-mm. I mean, think of nothing. I'm sure he dropped some singles or something.
I wanted,
Did he diss G-Mo? No, Fuego's dropped more.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't know if the chat was gonna address that. I was thinking of that to myself, but I was like, no, I'm pretty sure Fuego did that. Yeah, I mean, here's the other part. Fuego, that I remember at the very least. I heard some of it. It wasn't. I didn't listen to enough of it to say if it was straight garbage. It wasn't impressive, but the artwork that he released with that disc was garbage as fuck. I remember that specifically. Like he would get Photoshop guns. I'm pretty sure.
G-Mo addressed those clowns. That's the other thing. It's like, why do you still?
Oh no, dude, he dissed them, and it was, I don't know. See, here's the thing. G-Mo when he dissed the dudes from New York, I don't know if he dissed Myzery and Fuego or just one or the other, but like he did this one bar that was like y'all are whack as fuck, that ass B or some shit like that, and I was like, no. Like, that was the first time I ever heard G-Mo spit some shit where I was like, not really. Not so much. And not even because I'm from New York, because I think that dead-ass B shit is the funniest fucking thing on earth. But now that I watch Desus and Mero, like that show, the dead-ass B, the thing with the Tims, I'm not familiar. I'll have to peep that out. That sounds like my guy. That sounds right up my alley. Guy? What up, my guy? Hashtag no homos. No, what's good, B?
What up, my guy?
That's hilarious.
Like, what up, my guy? Ridiculous. You got that? Come through with that loud pack, my guy. Yo,
see, you want to know what you want to know what a big part of this shit is, man? Is the fact that like the East Coast, for the most part, I mean, because New England exists as an entirely different creature, but like New York, East Coast hip hop type shit, I kind of feel like never really got its due with the Juggalo scene. I kind of like, because Twisted spit East Side, but they meant East Side Detroit. They weren't talking about East Side of the fucking map. You know what I'm saying? And like original hip hop, I like that kind of shit. I feel like never got its like perfect example, man. I mean, really think about it. I know that it's that way in the fucking mainstream to a certain degree, but like, in the Juggalo scene now, you ain't got to be anywhere near good. All you got to do is put the shit out and make it look like you're like trying hard at it. And fucking, it's like, and literally people will just attach to it specifically because they're juggalos and they want something that's not psychopathic, that's new, because, I mean, eventually, after you've listened to the fucking Riddle Box for the 25th time, you want to start listening to some other shit. And, like, I mean, Psychopathic's recent releases leave quite a bit to be desired. I mean, well, I don't know. Shaggy shit was good. But, like, I don't know, man. It's, like, I seen some shit the other day. I have no idea what the fucking dude's name was. He keeps fucking with me on Facebook. But it was...
Nah, I was going to bring that up, man. Like, I know you've had to deal with some fucking dumb haters.
Well, yeah, so yes, I have to a degree, but this is the one thing that I have to say to it because I don't want to go too far into it. I don't want to stir the pot too hard. But this is the reality of these situations, is that fucking when your whole persona revolves around the kind of thing that with the push of the block button literally no longer exists. How is it that you can maintain any sort of like superiority as though you've done any kind of thing when the reality is that as soon as I know that this is the kind of like demeanor that you want to go with, all I got to do is block you and then literally you don't exist. All of them are fucking gone. The ones that fuck with me, that bother me. But here's the funny thing about that. King Troll Bobby, I ain't blocked his wife because she ain't fucked with me. She ain't been disrespectful. Why would I? I'm not that dude. I don't fucking care enough. But the fact is, a lot of different times in the past, these dudes, like Bobby, as one person in particular, has gone out of his way to be like pretty wildly disrespectful. And at a certain point, I'm just not entertained by it anymore.
It's not supposed to be entertaining.
Oh, no. Well, here's the thing, dude. You have to understand. I don't know how much you were online, like back in the day, like on the Juggalo message boards and shit. But you know Psycho Jesus, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So look, I say this with full confidence, and anybody who knows Julius can go and find him and see if I'm lying. I fully believe, and I mean, I'll admit it if I'm wrong, but I fully believe that during that time when he was doing his Dick So Soft and when he was trolling, when Psycho Jesus was doing it back in the day, I fully believe that if he was able to, I don't think he did, but if he was able to bully somebody into suicide, he would have sent a fucking bouquet of flowers, and on the card, it would have said, "Condolences on your punk ass soft son."
Oh, that yeah, we're a bunch of us are on that level. You know that shit.
But this is my point: is that like Bobby is going in that vein, and to a certain extent, like dude, this is the difference between you and I. I know that you may have a very real distaste for this kid. I got to tell you, for a long time,
I don't know him to dislike him.
Here's the thing. I used to talk to him a good amount. I remember when I dissed Mr. Licks, he was one of the first people I emailed the song to. I fucking shouted him out on a song last year. Like, I want to like the kid. I don't want to have a fucking issue with the kid, but he seems to enjoy chaos more than fucking order in this particular aspect. So I'm not going to fuck with it. It's just not my thing. And a lot of these kids that do this Russell shit, like, it's just, there's no entertainment in it for me because I can't argue with these people in a way where it's actually fucking entertaining. Because as soon as you get disrespectful, I just want to punch you in the face. And if you're a fucking 1,000 states away, I'm not going to deal with that. It's like, it gives me anxiety. I don't want to fucking do it. And like, the main thing is that, again, a lot of these people want to talk shit. I just want to fucking, let's fight. At least then, if you beat me, I can at least say, all right, you caught that. But like what? Talking shit on the internet? That's why I fucking block them, man. That's why I block people. I have no interest. The internet is far too vast. There's too many people. There's too much out there that I could be potentially fucking promoting to be giving any of my fucking time to idiots. But this is all that I have to say about from what I was going to before. Because, like, frankly, all that shit, like I said, as soon as I block them, they don't exist anymore. But, like, the way that it is in horrorcore now, it's the fact that you can so clearly copy ICP and no one's bothered by it. Oh, yeah. Like, the fact, like, you can do so, like, I'll put it to you like this. is Grave Bait, is that dude part of Wickedwood?
I got no idea.
All right. Because one of those dudes had something to say on that post where I was saying that I was blocking people, which is always a great idea. Because, like I said, it gets them to self-identify and then get the fuck out of here. But, like, these guys have been back from way long ago. And I remember, like, Sid Voorhees. I always felt like Sid Voorhees, it was kind of like the painting his face, what he was doing. Like, I wasn't necessarily into it. But the thing is, over time, he grinded like a motherfucker, and he put in a lot of work in the underground, and he earned his respect. So it's like, hey, paint your face all the fuck you want. But a lot of shit that, like, it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? It's so clear that you're copying ICP. Like, you couldn't tell them that they're derivative because they wouldn't know what the fuck that meant. But it's just, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like the underground was supposed to be a place where you stay original, where you do shit that hadn't really been done, because if you were going to do shit that had already been done, then you could go to other avenues to make it happen. But I don't know, man. I'm also getting pretty fucking high because this new I got is real good.
Yeah, no, we're gonna wrap it up because it's about 12:30. But I'm gonna pull a picture up onto the screen, and then we're gonna leave tonight on Chuck's substantiated rumors. I'm going to describe to you what's in this picture.
Okay.
Since you can't see it. It's available on Instagram, but this went up today. And it's a fairly interesting picture because if there's one pipe dream that I hear from 17%ers, most times it's Mikey Clark needs to go back to producing for the Clowns. Well, the picture that went up today on the @PurpleHash Instagram account is a picture of none other than George, the CEO of Magic Ninja, and
Mr.
Mike E. Clark. So, in today's episode of Chuck's Unsubstantiated Rumors, Mikey Clark gonna produce that next Twisted record? Or is George just on the Kid Rock cruise on vacation again? Like he does every year. And Mikey Clark's there because Mikey Clark got a Grammy nomination for working with Kid Rock. Same reason Yellow Wolf is there.
Oh, that's funny. Well, listen, man, here's the thing. Mikey Clark, people seem to forget, left Psychopathic for a long time to do whatever he wanted to do. And if he was working with Kid Rock and got Grammy nominated for it,
his fucking went up.
Well, that's for sure. I mean, look, man, this is what this is all about. Mikey Clark isn't affiliated to fucking... Look, ICP's, I mean, you know, some could call it their strength in the early times, and it's a kind of a drawback now, is that Psychopathic in the beginning relentlessly called out their crew and their area and their homies and everybody around them that was associated with them so that they could make it essentially appear, and I mean it was how it was, but make it appear as though they were deep as fuck. So, I mean, the reality is that they had been screaming Mikey Clark for a long time. They made Mikey Clark a big part of their music because, yeah, Mikey Clark definitely contributed to a lot of the very big projects, some of the very big projects that ICP had done in the original Joker's Card series. But the fact is, he's unaffiliated. He can do what the fuck he wants. So if Twisted can afford him and they can do that,
that's not an easy get.
Oh, no, true indeed. Obviously not, for the fact that ICP couldn't just have him on demand like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like the fact that they put Mikey Clark in Big Money Hustlers and the fact that they called him out, you know, I'll call Mike Clark because I know he can get the fucking Skylark. You know what I'm saying? Like, they made it seem as though, like, don't you remember in Behind the Paint, I don't know if they ended up actually doing this on whatever track they were talking about, but they found out that the recording studio that they were working at was the one that Merciless Amir had recorded in. So they were going to be like, yo, let's be like shouting out, like, yo, shouts to Merciless Amir. Yo, it'll be like we're part of his crew or something. You know what I mean? Like the idea of guilty by association was something that ICP has done for a long time, which you have to figure that's carried on for a really long time, because people that like acts that are famous that associate too closely with ICP, unless you're like, you know, really, really big untouchable type. Like, think about it like this. Juicy J fucked with ICP on the strength of 3-6. After he split from fucking, and 3-6 is, you know, the Mafia 6, has Juicy J been showing Juggalos love? Like, I'm pretty sure that hasn't been what's going on.
Carnival, somebody asked him about Killjoy Club 2, and he gave them some generic answer. And somebody over at Carnal Spirits jumped on it like it was confirmed news. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Ain't you learned your lesson yet? Like, I don't believe Gutter Water's even coming out until it drops.
Look, let's be real here. Nobody wants to fucking admit it at all. And, like, it's, okay, fine, I get it. But Killjoy Club, Young Wicked had a lot to do with why that album was good. So if we're going to try to sit here and act like him not being on it's not like they can't get good production. But the fact is that he was also on like every song because they recognized his contributions to the project. So the idea that they're just going to do it by themselves, it would probably still be dope. It's still ICP and 3-6, but I think it's not going to have that same sound, which, I mean, that again could be a good thing. You know, doing the exact same thing is not always the way to go. So I got to be honest, man, I only heard some of Killjoy and I liked it. At the Gathering in 2016, at the Wizard Gathering, I think I saw some of their performance and it was cool. But, I mean, for whatever reason, I just never really got into it. And at this point, like Killjoy Club felt like, I mean, it was, you know, like a crossover Riders, pretty much. Dot. Did I lose you?
I'll see you on Friday. My mic was muted.
But no, yes, you will. The 420 Dabathon, but no, you're right. It is getting a little bit late.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this Fortnite stream tonight.
Oh no, you want to know what? I'm actually I was talking to the homie about it. I'm working on starting to segue more seriously into game streaming and like YouTube content and whatever. So yeah, I need to fucking talk to Rose Glenn about that. But no, yeah, I should probably get to sleep too in the event that well, see, I don't know. We didn't fucking tell Tom that kids were out of town. Because usually with the funeral home, he knows that we can't both get called out at night because we got the kids. But yeah, for this week, it wouldn't have mattered. But my wife has been busy as shit. Like, fucking tell me how, dude. Fucking, she gets a call today to, I'm not going to go into the serious details of it, but she had to go to the maternity ward.
Ooh.
And that's my wife going to the maternity ward. Let's just
nah. Like, I don't even want to go here. Don't end my show on a downer.
But listen. But here's the crazy part about that. That's the first time that's ever happened. And you want to know what else is happening at that exact same hospital and that exact same maternity ward? Her very good friend, who also happens to be Native American from many years ago, is giving birth to her son.
Oh, look at that.
Like, crazy. What are the fucking odds of that? Like, literally, what are the odds of that?
But, all right, y'all. I'll let you go. And I'll talk to you on Friday.
No, most certainly, man. We definitely will. And you want to know what? At this point, I don't know if you heard, the memorial show for Frankie had to get moved because Electric Haze fucked up and double booked.
No, I didn't know that.
I mean, at this point, dude, the Lauren is on call the weekend of UPestival. I don't know that she was going to be coming, so the car is going to be pretty open. Even if she was coming, the car is going to be pretty open.
Oh, I intend on that. We're going to talk. I intend on making that trip.
All right, rock and roll. Because let me tell you something. I'm not at liberty to discuss, but it is definitely going to be it's going to be hype as fuck, dude.
Yeah,
it's going to be
something. I'm into doing the damn thing that weekend. So yeah, no, I'll be in touch soon. We'll talk this week.
Never happened before. Hey, thank you for having me on, Chuck.
Hey,
much love
as always, man. We'll talk. We'll talk tomorrow.
Love the rest of y'all out there. Peace the fuck out.
All right, man. Till later. The homeboy, Mad Max, joining us for the long show tonight. We're a little after midnight, 12:35-ish. Right after this, I'm going to go right into some Fortnite live streaming right here on the Replicon channel. I figure I'll just do it that way because it's probably easiest. I appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate everybody still tuned in to the motherfucking show. I know we got about 50 viewers. We had about 50 viewers. I don't know if there's going to be a show tomorrow. There will if there's not a show tomorrow, there'll be one Friday. There's going to be some live stream shit Friday anyway from the 420 show. And then this weekend. Salute and fucking flame emojis to all you heads out there. Tuned in. I love it. To the rest of you, suck a dick. My name is Chuck Reeves. I'm the East Coast Beast host. I'm going to play some video games. And until later, the beard has spoken.